All right, today we're here in Toledo, Ohio, looking at another boiler. It's got a leak in the boiler that has to have the asbestos removed so that way they can come out and do their job. So there's actually a tenant in here, so the owner's here, and he let us in the basement to take a look. He actually worked for a utility company, so he's worked with asbestos before. He didn't want to do it himself because he's been around enough to know how bad it is. And take a look. I'll show you what we got going on here. Ryan's getting set up still. We're going to basically be putting plastic all around this area. So these pipes were previously encapsulated, so if it looks like a cast material, and that just added an extra layer of protection. So somewhere on this boiler there's a leak, but these pipes run all the way along here as well, so they're carrying the hot water throughout the house. And then on here, this plaster, and sometimes we don't know until we get behind this, sometimes they had like the chicken wire, which is what they use to help adhere to the boiler. The one I ran into yesterday actually didn't have that. It was just the plaster, which makes it a little bit easier, which is always nice. So once this is all removed, sometimes there's some little spots where the asbestos will be used as like a gasket almost. We have to go over that with the encapsulant, make sure that that's sealed tight. We'll wipe down these pipes with lockdown, so it's basically like a clear glue that you can't really see, and that just traps in any microscopic particles that might still be there. So all these walls, basically have to be, everything has to be covered with plastic. We want to make sure that none of, even though we're wetting this down and making sure that there's no fibers being released, we still want to protect, all the tools, things that are down here in the basement. And we also want to make sure that all the flooring, these are actually asbestos tiles, but we're not here for that today. But the homeowner knew about that too, so he's very familiar with asbestos. So we're gonna take care of this. This will probably take about, from start to finish, I'd say probably about 6 hours. The prep and the setup takes the longest, and then the removal obviously takes some time. We gotta bag it all up properly, load it up, clean up, and all that good stuff. So we'll be here for a while, but we'll just have a brief video at the end and show you how it looks when it's all finished. So I had Ryan finish this job up, and once he finished, I had him go down and show you guys the final results. So he's gonna go down here in the basement, and we're gonna show you a couple different things. So the first thing that you're gonna see once he gets down there is the elbows, which is where they have those 90-degree turns, or 45 depending on where it's at. Those spots usually have some plaster on them, which are a little bit tough. So the rest of the pipe has that air cell, which we removed, and then you can see where he wiped down those elbows really good. We want to make sure that there's no asbestos on there, and also when we wipe it down, we make sure that it's got that lockdown encapsulant. Now that white paint right there, that's also encapsulant. That's where some of those gaskets were that we can't really remove, so we want to make sure that those are covered and protected. You can see everything's nice and clean, just a bunch of cast iron that's left, nice bunch of metal. Those are actually asbestos floor tiles too, if you didn't catch those, but the homeowner knew about them and didn't care. And then these last little runs right here, nice and clean. Yep, look at that. So it went all the way up to right where it goes into the next floor.